good basketball game. Knew this was going to be tight. Just given the fact that what Temple has done, knowing how good Jamal Mashburn is, but 85 points is enough to win a basketball game. You got to be able to make a better percentage of your free throws. 55% of your free throws when you have those opportunities isn't going to get it done. And then at the same time, this is what good players do. They if you get your coverage wrong, they make you pay. And hats off to them, and a really good win for those guys. Just again, because of their ability to shoot 45% from three, shot it well, and then being able to convert their free throws at 77% rate.
Coach, you guys led 66-62 with 8:15 left, and they scored 21, and that's 26 points. What were they doing over that stretch, or what were you not doing that you would have liked to have seen?
Yeah, if you look, there's a lot of one-on-one plays. So 22 goes in there one-on-one against Quincy Ballard. There are things that you're willing to live with. So, salute to Elijah Craig, being able to get those opportunities. Then at the same time, you have the settle jumper off of Bijan, number 55. Again, we can kind of deal with the one-on-one plays. But you think back to, the free throw opportunities, we missed 2 of them, and then, we miss them, and then we turn around and take a 3 right after that. Not to point any single player out, but we just got to be better about shot selection. You can't turn around and do that on these kind of possessions.
Coach, did it feel like a lot of the same bugaboos from last season popped up down the stretch too, like the turnovers, the free throws?
Well, the free throw, the turnover percentage isn't what isn't as exorbitant as it was a year ago. But you do have to make free throws on the road. So that's something that unfortunately is a reminder from a year ago.
And you mentioned like the defensive coverages. Was that something that you felt like was an issue? Or are you pleased? What was the review of how you guys defended?
Yeah, if you look at the 16-minute mark to the 8-minute mark there in the first half, it was botch coverage after botch coverage. You cannot give Mashburn that amount of space. And to his credit, he makes you pay whenever you get. I thought that. I don't think it was so much down the stretch. I'd have to watch the film. I thought it was one-on-one, and then a number of empty possessions, and I would consider bad shots empty possessions on our end.
Is Corey's foul trouble kind of make it hard? I think he might be able to match up against different guys that they're throwing at you.
Yeah, you need him on the floor, obviously, when you get those opportunities. But we had several guys foul out tonight, so you have to be able to defend without fouling. We've been top 25 in the country at it, done a pretty good job, but tonight we didn't.
You mentioned the shot selection has to get better down the stretch. Is that something, obviously you can't call a timeout and draw something up every time down, so what's it going to have to take to get better shots?
Yeah, ball movement. The ball's got to change sides. It's got to change hands. I thought the ball stayed on the side. You'd play off an empty. It never changed sides, and you're just relying on one action. That action doesn't work. You need to move to the next action, and some of that's just trusting your teammates. But we know what to do out of certain formations. We just never got to the second side formation. So the ball has to change sides. It has to change hands. And we just didn't do enough of that down the stretch.
Xavier, I have 2 questions for you. First of all, how did you feel about how things went tonight? What did you not do as well as a team that you would have liked?
Coach kind of touched on it a lot. We kind of botched coverage a lot in the first half and everything, but at the same time, a lot happened in the first half. I got a tech that really hurt my team. Those stuff add up, over the course of the game. I didn't box out. I think it led to 2 more free throws for them and everything like that. So I just got to clean up on that on my end, and at the same time, we just got to stick together. We're a great team. He said it, 80 to 85 points is enough to win a basketball game. We just got to buckle down and find our identity on defense for sure.
If I can follow up, what was it like being back in Philly? And just curious if you stay in touch with Coach Spiker or any, I know that a lot of the guys aren't still there, but maybe there are a few. Just curious if you follow up with Drexel at all.
Absolutely. I still talk to a lot of my teammates, the ones that left Drexel, the ones that are still there, a couple old coaches that are still there. A coach who was on staff with Temple last year was one of my really good teammates when I was there. So it's always good being back, but at the same time, I'm just focused on the next thing, and that was, trying to get a win out of here. But at the same time, we just gotta face it and just move on to the next for sure.
Coach, you mentioned the botched defensive coverages. Obviously, defense is tough. I mean, there's going to be mistakes, but is it too many that's happening right now for a veteran team, or what has to improve there?
Well, every game's different. I mean, every one takes an identity in and of itself, so your coverages are different. I mean, the one thing that I think you have to have is multiple pick and roll coverages in order to be good, and you just can't continue to throw one thing at a particular team. I mean, again, we can dominate paint points, right? I mean, we're pretty good at it. You end up 48 to their 28, so you can be a plus 20 there. It led to us being able, even with the fouling down the stretch, I mean, we shoot 28 free throws to their 31 on the road. You cannot make these kind of mistakes defensively. You have to know we did not change our coverage the entire night, because when we did it right, it worked. You know, I'm a big believer in the first thing you change is effort, second thing you change is personnel, the third thing is scheme. We never got to scheme, and to be honest with you, we didn't do a good job with one. And you got to do a good job with one. If one didn't work, then you can move to personnel. And there were some phases where we did that, but we never really had to change the scheme. We just needed to do what we were asked to do at a much better rate. Again, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Jamal Mashburn. Like, I mean, this is what good players do. If you mess something up, they will make you pay. And again, he did that.
It seems like Quincy Ballard, I mean, good things happen when he's involved. Just what are you liking from what you're seeing from him lately?
Yeah, I mean, he's playing well. Just that ability around the rim. He is a lob threat. Does a good job of being able to be a really good rim protector. And you know, we'll go back. I know he's better than 2 for 6 from the free throw line, but when he gets those opportunities, we need to convert those.
A lot of teams have been playing some zone against Temple. It looks like you maybe threw it out there a little bit.
0 zone. Thanks, guys.
Very much. Good luck the rest of the season.